So Sam, thank you very much for participating in our core initiative series of interviews. We've been working together and our teams have been working together over the last year, and we're really excited about the partnership we have. Certainly from the work that we're doing in the modern platform space in neobanking, we see a real gap and need and opportunity for your offering. But it'd be really good to get perhaps your perspective about the market and where you see Engine by Starling fitting into that context.
Yeah, absolutely. So expectations have been really changing over the last 5 years or so. In retail, it's been dragged along a bit. In SME, most banks haven't really started their investment yet, but it's still largely taking the shape of sticking plasters around the edge. We're adding API gateways and sticking apps over things, primarily with a view to taking cost out from the bank, getting customers out of branch and getting them to serve themselves through the most common journeys. Engine, the technology that was built for Starling, is looking at this very differently. We built the technology platform to solve problems for customers, for the consumers and the small businesses that we serve. Yes, it's highly self-service, so it's efficient for us to operate, but it's done through rich, personalizable, kind of digitally native experiences that are designed to help people better manage their money. And that's shifting the expectations in the market, and there's only so far you can push the traditional core before you've got to deal with the problem and actually get into the heart and simplify what you're running.
Yeah, and I think we certainly see that some of the decisions that our clients have been holding off making, kicking the can down the road, if you will, the consumer pressure is really getting in the way now and forcing organisations to take action on that. And it's not just a technology challenge, it's also a culture and operating model challenge. I wonder whether you can maybe just comment a little bit. You know, you're a technology company, but you're bank built. You know, maybe you could comment a little bit on that and why that's different and why is that special to prospective clients.
Yes, it's a really distinctive part of the offering, I think, and what excites the clients we're working with, because yes, we've got this single platform that's running retail, small business, and a whole bunch of different currencies across a whole number of products. But we've got the experience operating this as a successful digital bank. So Starling sits right up at the top of the customer satisfaction tables in the UK and has done for years now. And it's also one of the only profitable digitally native banks in the world, not just breaking even, but really making money too. And so the experience in how we do that is effectively embedded into the software. It's the tools we use to run an efficient contact center and back office operations. That single pane of glass that everyone's using, from those on chats and on telephone calls to those investigating financial crime issues, processing card disputes and things. And so when we arrive together and talk to a bank, it's not what do you need, how do you want to work through this? We can start by showing them a working bank, and for each process we can show them an example of how it could be done. And then you're just adjusting and fine-tuning that for the local market, for the products that bank wants to offer. And that takes a huge amount of time and risk out of the program, but it also shares a lot of what some people call the kind of Starling secret sauce, the experience we've learned through 7 difficult years growing a bank to 3.5 million accounts now.
Yeah. And in terms of, I guess, the future, I mean, obviously right now we're working really hard on one of the first launches, and we're excited to be looking at a few new other opportunities, but maybe just taking a bit of a view into the future. What's your perspective about some of the trends, and also your perspective of what's next in terms of the journey, in terms of Engine?
Yeah, the future is one of those questions that makes me laugh, because everyone in the tech world is thinking AI, blockchain, the kind of things that every consultancy wants to stand up on stage and talk about each month, but actually they're not the problems facing most banks today. I've come from a background of core systems in banks, and I know you do a lot of work inside traditional banks too, and they are dealing with a real spaghetti landscape of systems from the 70s, 80s, 90s, kind of mainframes, desktop apps and things, and their staff are flipping between all of these, and so you get a really disjointed experience for the customer and a really costly both infrastructure and operations for the bank. And so actually, what does the future involve? That some banks have got to start dealing with that. I think it's a very difficult investment decision to make historically, because you get a quote for a program that's going to take several years, and that's frankly longer than the tenure of most executives. And so the kind of Engine difference is we can get this in a much shorter speed, because we're starting with a pre-built, pre-integrated platform that has the features you need to run quite a successful bank. And if you can take time and risk out of the program, I think that will finally get the market to the point where it can contemplate making these decisions and make the investments they need to give themselves a strong foundation.
Well, thank you very much for participating. I certainly look forward to the continued work we're doing in delivery. Absolutely. And taking this to market over the next year and into the following years. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.